Hello, my name is Jessica Jackson, and this presentation is a part of a final project for an online course at Louisiana State University. The purpose of this presentation is to present an online course that I created as a part of the final project in ALRC 7502. I will achieve this by presenting an online course that I created for elementary students, specifically 4th grade social studies. So this particular course is for 4th grade students within the Spring Fair school system, and this course is a part of AVR's Cuffing Sequence in Social Studies for 5th grade, and this course is also the second topic in the Cuffing Sequence one which can be found on the Louisiana Village website. So within that scope sequence are a list of learning outcomes that are modeled after Bloom's taxonomy. However, I will note that they are broken down into IQ statements for the students, but they're more identifiable for other teachers and administration if I were to place them within the student assessments. So for the course overview, I should note that even though that this is the second topic within Unit 1, it was given a 6 or 7 class period for students to achieve the knowledge needed to complete their final assessment. Therefore, I think it was most appropriate to break these modules down in the best way possible to where students could essentially complete each module on a daily basis. And if I'm not mistaken, or should I remember correctly, that within a traditional setting, that social studies block was maybe 45 minutes to an hour. However, for online purposes, I don't want the students to spend more than 2 to 3 hours on any given module, and I do believe that how things are broken down within each module will allow that to happen without overwhelming the students. So at the beginning of the course will be a class overview, and within that class overview is the class syllabus. And this syllabus pretty much just outlines for the students and the parents what I expected for them for the duration of this course, and not only gives them my contact information where they can find me if they were to ever physically be on campus, but it also gives them different lengths of expectations of how I expect them to behave online and what it means to be a good digital citizen, and also links for them to a video of what's called a casual tile for students to review for language that I expect when they are interacting with their peers online. And at the very bottom of it, I gave them a list of support resources that connects them back to Baton Rouge's student handbook, their expectations, what it means to be a good digital citizen, AVR's technology policy, as well as how they should handle their given devices. But also on the syllabus, I've linked them to our class website, and on this website, it gives them links to the class syllabus, what you just saw, as well as different links that's actually within that syllabus, and it also gives them the support that's needed, which link at the bottom of each page. And it also has my introduction, that way they get to know me. But something I think was very important that I included on the website is frameworks. That way if students ever feel overwhelmed with the activities within each module, they could take maybe a 3-minute break and do different videos, as well as different reasons. And lastly, I gave them a list of resources, and it gives them a list of resources specifically for social studies, as well as other educational games to kind of help them with retention. But within each module, I try to be very intentional by not just presenting students with a bunch of videos and activities and handouts that I wanted them to complete without actually giving them some kind of guidance. So the ready set goal is just a list of a checklist of how they should go about completing each module. It tells them where to start, the engagement videos, and it tells them to use the different resources that I have given them to complete their Google Slides activity. And I should note that the Google Slides activity is modeled from the 5 regions chart within the scope sequence. Now, naturally, within the traditional Saturday, you would print out this chart and give to students that way as they use it every day within the classroom. I felt that wouldn't have been as impactful in the online setting. So what I ended up doing is breaking down that chart into each section to a Google Slides activity. So, for example, I'm sorry, wrong one. So, for example, for the Southwest region, it gives them the academic statement for that particular day, and it tells them how to use that information of their resources. And it asks them to answer the question, but it also tells them to use vectors. Now, for the sake of the vectors, I did not want them to just get on Google because of the different images that could potentially be out there. So what I have done is that I have given the students with a list of instructions within that models of how to complete that Google site. I gave them a list of kids-friendly search engines that kind of filters out the inappropriate things that they may potentially come across in a classroom setting, but also within that, at the bottom of it, it tells the students specifically how they will be guided on their Google slide presentation, and it breaks it down to tell them what they need to do to ensure that they get the maximum points possible, so that way they know exactly how I'm grading them, as well as their parents will know how they are being graded. And as I noted earlier, that I've added a midpoint assessment. And what it basically is that it asks students to write an essay, and it's pretty much compare and contrast. And after students, compare and contrast, I would have them go to do something like a Padlet. Let's see where a Padlet. And what they would be able to do is, like, for example, that they will actually see an example of what I would want them as far as the writing and editing an image, and this also works for their final assessment as well. And the chosen technologies, I'm still trying to become more familiar with Edmodo, but I also think that Google Classroom would still be beneficial for this setting. That way students can still get information that they need, as well as Adobe and Microsoft Office. And I have provided a variety of how students can go about completing their activities. And one of my favorites to use is Nearpod, and what I have done in one of the Nearpods is that Nearpod allows students to work at their own pace. So as far as the student pace, it'll actually walk students through all the different links that will view within a module. It will allow them to actually see the objective for today and what